Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Fumble Sports Daily Show. It is Tuesday, June 13th, and we are so happy to have you in the show. We are about to get into everything around the world of sports. For today's action, MLB, a Stanley Cup final game that could ultimately end the NHL season tonight, and WNBA action. But before we get into all of that, as our loyal viewers and regular followers jump into the show, I did want to start off by talking about last night's game, NBA Finals Game 5. I didn't put out a rant video because I wanted to talk to you guys specifically about my thoughts with a little bit of time to just think about how things went. First, we won't talk about the gambling right now. I'll talk about that in just a second. But I do want to just call out what a brilliant performance it was by the Denver Nuggets last night in an ugly game. And you may go, how can you be brilliant while also being ugly? When you shoot so poorly from three in the first half, when you don't have your stars necessarily, Jokic was great, Murray was good, but when it's Michael Porter Jr. having a good game, when it's KCP coming through defensively, that speaks to the depth of this team. The Denver Nuggets, what I loved about watching them this year is they were a complete team. From the head coaching staff all the way down to the last member of the bench, DeAndre Jordan, who got in the game last night. This was a complete team. You see it in how Jokic's demeanor is. You see it how Jamal Murray, how willing he is to be a facilitator for his teammates. I love what I see from the Denver Nuggets. I think it's way too quick, and I hate how the sports media community does this. Are they a dynasty? Are they going to win next year? I hate that kind of talk. Even if the Denver Nuggets brought it upon themselves, I know Michael Malone's comments said we're going to win another one. But let's appreciate what this Nuggets team is. They are a throwback. They are a team from the 80s. They're a team that's balanced, that plays good defense, where their superstar is as good a facilitator as he is a scorer, as he is a leader. This is a brilliant team. Is this one of the greatest teams of all time? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Are the 2023 Denver Nuggets or 2022 Denver Nuggets amongst the greatest NBA teams of all time? Not even in the discussion. They're not that good in that upper echelon of the Mount Olympus when it comes to NBA all-time history. But is this what you dream of as a fan? What you dream of as a franchise? A balanced team, a deep team, where the leaders aren't just leaders in action, they're also leaders in demeanor. They don't have ego. They don't strut. There's a great photo of Jamal Murray and Jokic together. This is from way back. This isn't from last night. Where Jokic is got his arm around Jamal Murray and he's leaning on him. And if you've ever been around shorter people, some of them don't take too kindly, or I'm not saying Jamal Murray's short, but some people don't like the idea of kind of being leaned on, kind of being the smaller guy. Jamal Murray and Jokic have this beautiful relationship. It is so balanced. The ego isn't there. Maybe it's because one's from Serbia and one's from Canada. They don't have that American ego in them. Maybe it's because both at one time or another were completely overlooked, as you guys are well aware of now. Nikola Jokic, when he was drafted during the NBA draft, a Taco Bell commercial was actually running during the time. That's how inconsequential they thought Nikola Jokic was going to be as an NBA player. And while Jamal Murray was absolutely hyped coming out of Kentucky, once he suffered his knee injury, there were a lot of people who didn't put him on the same level as a Devin Booker or other great players out of Kentucky. They didn't think he could be a leader, a star. I was so impressed. Jamal Murray averaged 10 assists in the NBA Finals. Nikola Jokic had, 20 rebounds in how many games in the NBA? I mean, what an impressive performance. These are two of my favorite superstars of all time, and I do put them in the superstar category, whether they deserve that label or not. But the Denver Nuggets, to me, are the model franchise in so many ways, because do I think this is sustainable? No, I do not. I don't think they're going to repeat. I don't think they're going to go off into some kind of dynasty. I think that health will get to this team eventually. They were incredibly healthy during this playoff run. Their starting five played every single game of the playoffs and finals. That's crazy. You didn't have one turned ankle that had someone sit. You didn't have to make a lineup change. That kind of health is really rare And I don't expect that, especially a Denver Nuggets team that has some injury history. Jamal Murray, I'm looking at you. Other players. Do I think the Nuggets are going to be the superstar, loaded team? No. I do think that this was their year in the same way we talked about the Milwaukee Bucks a couple years ago, and that was their year. I didn't think the Bucks were going to go on this kind of dynasty run, but this is a brilliant team, and it needs to be appreciated. We don't need to talk about next year too much. We don't need to focus too much on the Miami Heat. There's plenty of time for that. Nikola Jokic is a superstar who's so humble that all he wants to do is go home to Serbia. He doesn't want a parade. He doesn't want accolades. He really didn't even want his trophy. Did you see how he reacted to the MVP trophy from last night? Bruce Brown literally had to go find him and give it to him. He left it. Now, I know he had his daughter in his hands, which was, for the NBA, like an all-time moment. Like, that is a brilliant moment. That is Drew Brees and his son, confetti coming down in the Super Bowl. That's what Jokic and his daughter was last night. It was as perfect an NBA scripted moment as you could get. Family, championship, everything. But that said, Nikola Jokic so doesn't care about the accolades. I'm in love with the guy. He is brilliant. He plays at his pace. He's an all-time great. Is he the greatest European player of all time? I don't think he is yet. I think he's in the conversation. Do I think he is yet? No. But I think that what Nikola Jokic has done needs to be appreciated before we start doing what we naturally do. Season ends and we immediately go, okay, the way too early predictions for next season, next year. And the truth of the matter is, I don't think Denver can get there, but it doesn't matter right now. This was a great team. A couple other people I want to shout out. Jeff Green. Jeff Green has gone through everything in life, including open heart surgery. And Jeff Green contributed to this team. He wasn't just another player. He wasn't just a good story. Jeff Green contributed. I hope everyone recognizes that Jeff Green's story is as remarkable as any player in the NBA. Everything he's gone through, he's been traded, he's been cut, he's been dealt. He's had to go to I think it's 11 different teams. Jeff Green has gone through personally, physically, emotionally, every kind of challenge in the NBA, and he is a champion. Oh my God, does that make me feel good for him and for what the NBA represents. Additionally, I love Michael Malone. I just love him as a coach, and he spoke to something last night which is so important. We lack patience nowadays. We are in, as you guys know, if you're watching on TikTok Live or YouTube, we are in such a quick-paced world. And when you fail, when you don't live up to expectation, there is an assumption that the gallows door will swing out and you will just drop and you're done. We saw it a lot with NBA coaches after this season. Doc Rivers fired. Monty Williams fired. Budenholz fired. And I'm not saying all weren't deserved, but I love the idea that Michael Malone didn't get to the promised land quickly. He had to earn it. He had to earn it with the Nuggets. It's not like he was at some other team and then he came to the Nuggets and it clicked. He was doubted. There are tweets, there are receipts that are being brought back up in which Michael Malone, people were saying to fire him, that he couldn't win a championship. He was so brilliant as a coach in these playoffs. One thing, Eric Spoelstra is a great coach, and I thought he got plenty of flowers. So Eric Spoelstra, we talk about him a lot. Did anyone think that Michael Malone at any point in the NBA Finals got outcoached? I didn't think once. And Eric Spoelstra is the kind of coach who makes a difference. He is someone who I often think outcoaches the opposing coach. I thought he outcoached Tibbs. I thought he outcoached Joe Mazzulla. And know who Eric Spoelstra did not outcoach? Michael Malone. Mike Malone was brilliant as a head coach. Yes, Jokic and Murray makes life very easy, but he had rotations. How is he going to get Bruce Brown in? How is he going to get KCP in? What does he do with Michael Porter Jr.? Michael Porter Jr. was the perfect microcosm of how good a head coach Michael Malone is. Because Michael Porter Jr. literally could not hit water if he fell out of a frickin' boat for the first few games of that series. And then in Game 5, not only does he find his scoring, not only is he aggressive on the boards, but he ended up being the difference maker. His additional points His rebounds, the second chance points they got off of those rebounds, believe it or not, Michael Porter Jr. was the difference in them winning Game 5. And it speaks to Michael Malone as a head coach. Managed it brilliantly. I was so impressed by what I saw from the Nuggets last night. And again, I want to make sure Miami Heat, the culture is real. We can praise them another day. Today belongs to Denver. And I want to make sure everyone acknowledges that great teams, humble teams, balanced teams do not come around often. We talk about the heart of a champion. We talk about what it takes. The Denver Nuggets, put it on a poster, because that is the hang in there kitty of determination, sacrifice, teamwork, egoless basketball. I loved what I saw. One other note on the NBA Finals. How many cuts did we see? How many back cuts did we see? How many picks did we see? Do you know what it takes to have a set a good pick, to make a good back cut? Both of those are about willingness to be engaged, participation, intelligence, balancing the floor. And if I have anybody I want to kind of call out, I'm going to call out the Boston Celtics. I know this is a random one, but Boston Celtics, look at how these two teams just played. Balanced, egoless, not complaining, fighting, determining. I know there was a little complaining by the Nuggets at times, but when Jimmy Butler kicks Aaron Gordon in the basketballs, I understand it. But that said, if you're looking at other teams in the NBA who are on the cusp of championship greatness and aren't there yet, like the Boston Celtics, look at the Denver Nuggets. Look at what Jamal Murray does to humble himself. Jamal Murray humbles himself so Bruce Brown can get an open three. So KCP can get an open three. If Jaylen Brown played like Jamal Murray, the Celtics would have been playing in that series. So, that said, that's all I got for you. Wanted to make sure I called that out. My last little note on the NBA Finals before we close up shop and move on to today's action. Stan Kroenke has been on some kind of roll. Stan Kroenke has won a Super Bowl with the LA Rams. He's won a Stanley Cup with the Colorado Avalanche, and he has now won a Larry O'Brien trophy, an NBA Finals trophy with the Denver Nuggets. You may not like Stan Kroenke, especially if you're from St. Louis. You may disdain the man. But when you win that many championships over that span of time, there is something to it. And I saw a great tweet earlier, and I forget who it was, but I am quoting someone else. When you win those 3 titles in 3 major sports in that span of time, what does that tell you? That's an owner who spent the money and got the hell out of the way. He could have fired. He could have changed things in Denver. He could have fired his head coach. He didn't. He could have lacked the trust in Jamal Murray. He didn't. You look at the NFL. He gave his GM a lot of rope. He took a chance on Stafford. You look at the Avalanche. They built a great team in Colorado when they won. So Stan Kroenke, you may not be a fan of him, especially those in St. Louis, but you got to respect what a good owner is. And what's a good owner? I don't think it's a Jerry Jones. I think it's someone who spends the money and then gets out of the way. Go let the experts do it. Go let the managers, the coaches, the GMs, the players, they win championships. And if there is one thing I liked, I don't like that the owner gets the trophy right away. I know they own the team and thus they win the championship, but I always feel like, 12 guys just sweated, gave their life for you to win a title, and you in your suit raised the trophy first. It's a little hypocritical, a little crazy. But that said, Stan Kroenke gave credit to the players, to the organization, to the coaching staff. It wasn't about him, and it could have been, because a lot of owners have that kind of ego. And I know Stan Kroenke isn't a popular guy, but he may be the best owner right now in North American sports, and there may be some gap there. Really impressive. That said, we finish our NBA talk. Welcome into our daily show. But Fumble Sports is live every single day for 2 hours every day, talking sports, giving out picks, obviously helping you out with fantasy and the like. We have closed the NBA season. The NHL has a finals game tonight. Will it be the last game of the NHL season? We shall see. But we are entering the dog days of summer. So for all of you who love betting on Major League Baseball, who love fantasy baseball, this is your climax time. This is it, everybody. So welcome into officially the heavy baseball part of the year. That said, we aren't only focused on baseball. So if you guys ever want to focus on the NFL, you guys want to focus on obviously the WNBA, UFC, NASCAR, horse racing, anything, we're here for it. So yes, we're going to do a lot of baseball over the next 6 weeks, with football then coming around and college football obviously. But that shouldn't prevent you from ever asking a question. As I just demonstrated, we love talking sports here. So you never have to worry if we're just going to be heavy on one sport. We're going to try to get to all of them. Speaking of which, we will be live tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for an NFL show. We are live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on TikTok Live and on YouTube, as we will go through, in Twitter Spaces I should say as well, as we will go through week 3 of the NFL season. We're doing a fun series. Every Tuesday we go through a week of the NFL season, giving out our picks, doing our analysis, and ultimately then building out what we think is going to be the ultimate winners and losers of the NFL season. So we build our futures picks one week at a time. We will be doing NFL Week 3 tonight at 7 p.m. We also obviously talk about a lot of the news that's going on. DeAndre Hopkins making a 2-day visit to New England. Stephon Diggs not at Bills camp. So really interested to see what happens with Stephon Diggs. Looks like he could be holding out, and he is going to be paying the price for it. So he clearly has his feet dug in on that. So we have plenty to talk about around the NFL. Hope you join us tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Bunch of comments. Candyman disappointed in my celebrity picks. Not a baseball guy. Candyman, I look forward to your WNBA picks today. Definitely look forward to that. Jorge, we will get to Vlad Guerrero Jr. in a moment. He is going to have a great day, so I already like where your head's at. By the way, as for the question, Vanderbilt, Reeves, Rui Hachimura, if I'm the Los Angeles Lakers, I like the core that I have. I don't think that you're better with Kyrie Irving. So for me, it is definitely one in which, if I'm the Lakers, I'm keeping what I have. I think now there are two big kind of shoes to drop across the NBA. One is obviously John Morant. John Morant's suspension is going to define the the NBA offseason, because it is going to be a shockwave. It is going to be an earthquake. It is going to stun everybody. I'm expecting it to be a lot of games. Not 18, not 25, higher, more. I think this could be one of the worst suspensions we have seen that isn't drug related, that is one that is both, he will come back this year. I don't think it's going to be a full game suspension, but look out. I think that is going to upset the apple cart. The other is Damian Lillard going to still be in Portland? There's a lot of talk about it. We will find out if ultimately that the Portland Trailblazers move him. Sounds like they're trying to get in on DeAndre Ayton. Would be interesting to see if Ayton and Lillard would be a good pairing in Portland. But those seem to be the two big dominoes that we're waiting on. I know there's Fred VanVleet and some other guys who could opt out. But for me, yeah, Jorge, great. By the way, I'm curious if you guys see any prop bets about a John Morant suspension. I know that's kind of in poor taste, but I'd be interested to know what it is. Jorge's setting the over-under at 49.5 points. I probably lean slightly towards the under on that. But that said, it is going to be high. And it's going to just shock everybody. The question is, does the NBA Players Association fight it? To me, that's the big question. If it's suspension for a year, I think absolutely the NBA Players Association will fight the suspension. But if it's like 40 games, if it's like half the season, wonder if the NBA PA really wants to go to bat over gun handling and gun ownership. It's going to be really interesting. Obviously, they need to protect the player, but this is one in which maybe the rest of the players go, hey, we understand why this standard is being set. Really interesting. Curious to see ultimately what happens. Want to give a big shout out to Bob the Gambler. Bob the Gambler, thanks for hooking us up with all these gifts today. Having a lot of fun with that. Drew7382, thank you so much. We will get to your questions in just 1 second. Big shout out to all those who are watching on YouTube as well. RJ, I don't like how they're saying Jokic is the best European player. He can achieve that, but he just won. Let's not jump to the GOAT conversation just yet. By the way, I totally agree with you, RJ, and I understand he is absolutely in the European GOAT conversation. 2 MVPs, now a NBA Finals MVP, and obviously a title. Jokic is absolutely in the conversation. But Dirk Nowitzki? By the way, Giannis? Greece, part of Europe, so for all of those who aren't aware of the European continent, I think that Jokic could ultimately get there, but it's a little reactionary, and this is something that sports media obviously does after every end of a season. It's like, is Patrick Mahomes the greatest football player of all time? And it's like, Tom Brady has 7 Super Bowls. Like, the guy just won his second. Let's pump the brakes like a little bit. Let's give it a little bit of time. But Jokic is absolutely in the conversation. He's in that top 3, top 4 conversation. But for me, is Jokic the best European player right now? No. I'm going to let it breathe a little bit. But is he on the path? Oh my God, how could you not say he's on the path? He's accomplished everything he's supposed to. I mean, All-Star games, NBA Finals, a championship, MVPs. I think Jokic is absolutely on his way, but this is the same as people trying to convince me that, like, LeBron James is the GOAT. Like, no, I'm aware that there's history. Like, I'm not just going to take this moment in time and throw everything out. It's just not how I'm doing it. By the way, Luka Doncic, I don't think is going to get there. He could be the greatest scorer in European history, but do I think that Luka Doncic will be the greatest European player? No, I do not, actually. I think Jokic will have a greater chance at that, or Giannis, than Luka Doncic. And part of the reason I say that, Luka Doncic has injury history, and Luka Doncic, I don't know how he is as an all-around player. He's a brilliant scorer, great offensive player, but is Luka Doncic really a good defensive player? When we look at Giannis, Giannis is an all-time great defensive player while also being dominant in the paint. You can argue Giannis not being a great shooter knocks him a little bit, but all-time great defensive player, all-time great, paint player. Jokic, what does Jokic not do? Jokic is a phenomenal defender. He's a great passer. He's a good scorer. Like, he does everything. So for me, Luka Doncic has a ways to go. Anyways, having a lot of fun with you guys, talking about some NBA. We do want to get into our picks, as always. Here is our disclaimer. As always, we are not a sports book. We aren't endorsed by any sports book. We are here for entertainment. We are here for information to help inform you guys so you guys get the most out of your sports viewing and entertainment experience. So if you guys ever need help, there are places you can go if you need help. But that said, Fumble Sports is here for fun, entertainment, information, and of course a lot of sports rants. But we always warn you guys, there's no such thing as a sure thing. Be careful when the public loves something. Don't chase winning. Don't do things off the cuff. Have a strategy. And again, this is entertainment. Don't put your house on it. Always have a good time, but do it responsibly. With that said, let's look at how we did yesterday on our picks. So if we go to our overall results, not bad. Not bad. We could have done better in the MLB, not going to lie. The Oakland Athletics. Did anyone see this winning streak happening? I'm pretty sure Oakland didn't see that happening. We'll talk about that in just a minute, by the way. There's something interesting going on in Oakland later today. But that said, 0-2-1 on our MLB game picks. So clearly we could pick up on that. MLB prop bets didn't do too well. We have been red hot on that. Finally had an off day. But that said, we crushed on the NBA last night. Like, we called that game perfectly. We said that the Nuggets were going to win. We said the Heat would cover by 11.5. And if you guys weren't paying attention yesterday, I loved the under. I loved the under, and I took it at 4 different places. As I said to you guys, if I like the under at 211.5, I like it at 214.5. How did we do, everybody? Hope you tailed us on that, because we crushed on that. I had bets down on every single one of those, so it was a very fun NBA Finals conclusion for me. We were certainly in the green on that. That said, NBA prop bets, we were a bit hit or miss. We wanted to give out more yesterday. It was funny. Actually, a number of the ones that we didn't give out because we were waiting on you guys, a lot of those cashed, so we just got to be better in our selections. We did hit a long ball, long shot of the day with Shohei Ohtani. He ended up hitting 2. And we have been red hot on steals. Steals have been cashing for us. Thank you, Eli De La Cruz and Bobby Witt Jr. Both came through. Now, when it came to celebrity shots yesterday, not so good. Not so good. We could be a little better, guys. So celebrity shots went 6 and 9. Was not our best day with our celebrity shots. So hopefully you guys are ready to bounce back. We are ready. We are all pumped up. So as we always do, let's throw those results from yesterday in the garbage bin because they don't matter anymore. That's past news. We're into today's news. So we're going to clear out all of these old picks and we are going to get ready. And we are going to dive into today's action. As always, if you guys want my picks, make sure you hit us up with our live goal of the confetti. Our live goal of confetti is how we give out picks that we have researched and have loaded up prior to the show. We also have the NHL Stanley Cup final tonight. We also have the WNBA tonight. WNBA is back, so we will also be looking for Candyman to drop some WNBA picks on us. If you guys want my long ball long shots of the day, make sure you're hitting that like button. Every time we hit 2,000 likes on TikTok Live, we'll give out a player we think is going to hit a home run today. And every time you guys share the channel, every time you share us, give a share to Fumble Sports, we'll give out a stolen base of the day. Okay, I know you guys threw in some celebrity shots. I may have missed a couple, but we'll get to them. Mike Oxlong. Mike Oxlong, 4 and 6 so far in your celebrity shots. So let's see if we can have a day, Mike Oxlong. You're going back to the well. Interesting. Julio. So Mike Oxlong is taking Julio Rodriguez over half a base. Is that there? Are you seeing half a base somewhere? I gotta find that. And Luis Arraez over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Wow. We gotta see if Julio Rodriguez over half a hit is available. But you're also taking Luis Arraez over 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs. I'm actually curious. We're gonna dive into this one really quick because I'm curious to see, is Julio Rodriguez available at half a hit? If that's the case, that is no-brainer category for me. So Julio Rodriguez, and looking at hits, yeah, half a hit. Wow. Thank you, Mike Oxlong. We're going to throw that one up on our big board as well. Call it a no-brainer play of the day. If it's available, we'll take it. Julio Rodriguez over half a base. You got to be kidding me. Wow. I am really surprised that's available. Great implied probability. Now, the matchup that he has today is against Cabrera, who's got an okay ERA, but I don't understand why this is such a good play, such good odds. I mean, against right-handed pitching, Rodriguez, okay, he's got a 236 average. Maybe that's, that is low. It's bad. But that said, pretty good across the board of late. I don't know. This feels like a good play. 3 of his last 4 against Miami. It's a minus 200 play, but you can put it on the board. Thank you, Mike Oxlong. Great call. Great call. By the way, a lot of people are already asking about it. Well, let's get to 2,000. It's not a hit, it's a base. It's not a hit, it's a base. Okay, even better. Even better. Yeah, over half a base I like. Over half a base I like. Because if it's over half a hit, a little tougher. See, I'm seeing over at 1.5. I'm seeing 1.5. It's not a hit, it's a base. I'm not seeing that there. I'm seeing the 1.5 on bases and the half on a hit. So whatever you're seeing, I'm not. You're saying it's over half a base. I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing that. So whatever sports book you got is better than ours. Mike Oxlong, don't know if I'm believing that 1.5 bases right now. Sammy, I'm going to type it in the chat. There you go. Outlier. You can go check it out. Outlier. I did put base in the doc, Mike Oxlong. Oh, okay. You said hit, not base. Thank you. Sorry about that. Thank you. Okay. So Mike Oxlong is taking over half a hit. I love the play. So Mike Oxlong and I are back on the same page. Love it. Okay, Jorge's asking for, he shared the channel, so we will give out a stolen base play of the day. Don't worry, Drew. We're going to get to your question right afterwards. Keep hitting that like button, though, because every time you guys hit the like button, when we get up to 2,000 likes, I'm going to give out a long ball, long shot of the day, and it relates to a lot of the players that you guys are talking about. Eli De La Cruz is an everyday play for me right now on a stolen base. He is a no-brainer. You got to put it in there. You got to ride this dude. This dude is fast as Usain Bolt. You got to be there. If he gets on base, just assume he's stealing. It doesn't matter if he's on first or second. If I look plus 350, I got to ride this. 4 stolen bases in his first, week in the major leagues? Plus 350? Come on. If that were home runs, that's like Aaron Judge on home runs. That shouldn't be at a plus 350. That's a great take. So for me, Eli De La Cruz is a no-brainer today. Jorge, you're halfway there. Ronald Acuna Jr. we'll get to in a little bit. But I actually wanted to throw another one. I'll throw another one up here as well. And that is Julio Rodriguez. Julio Rodriguez. We like him to get on base. He's facing a pitcher who actually gives up a good number of stolen bases in Cabrera. So just looking at Julio Rodriguez to get a stolen base. %23%. 23% plus 330. How about? Now, he hasn't gotten one in the last 7 games, but he does get steals. So for me, this is a good play as well. So already giving out 2 stolen base plays of the day. We have also hit 2,000 likes because you guys are awesome. Thank you, by the way, Jorge, for sharing the channel. Means a lot. Really appreciate that. So those are the 2 stolen baseball long shot of the day. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. You guys have been asking about it. He has outstanding numbers against Dean Kremer, however you pronounce it. The starting pitcher of the Baltimore Orioles. Vlad Guerrero absolutely rakes against this dude. This is a must-play for me today. Start him in fantasy. Get him in your fantasy. Get him in your lineups. Implied probability on the home runs, 21%. You can get it at plus 370, which, again, I think is a steal. He's been in a bit of a home run slump, which actually doesn't concern me that much. Again, what does he need to get right? The right starting pitching matchup. Now, Kremer has been a good pitcher this year. He has good numbers against the Blue Jays earlier this year. But look at these stats lifetime against this pitcher. 4 home runs, 4 RBIs. That is raking. In 19 at-bats, that is a must-play. That is a must-play. So that said, I got to put him in my lineup. I'm putting him as a home run play, no doubt, so I'm putting him on there. I mean, no doubt as in I have confidence in him. Obviously, he could miss, but love the play today. And if we go to ballparkpal.com and we go to the weather, what do we see? Bingo, home runs. Home runs are going to be up in that Blue Jays-Orioles game and blowing out to left field. That is exactly what we want. That is exactly what we want. Now, we're not done with him yet, though. We're not done. Let's go look at hits run. Let's look at bases. 1.5 bases. The over's a good play. I like bases. The over's a good play. I like it. So I'm going to take it over on bases as well. This is a pick I had prior to the show. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. over 1.5 bases. And the reason I took it there is when I saw hits, runs, and RBIs, 2.5. 2.5. That's why I didn't touch it. Now, if I do look at hits, it's 1.5. Just to show you guys around. If I dies, though, what about RBIs? This is an interesting play. I know it's not a good implied probability, but interesting. May want to keep your eye on that one as well. Okay, we got some work to do over here. A lot of you guys have been in the comment section. Jorge, you already see. Jorge, you could tell. We do like Vlad Guerrero on the bases. There you go. Okay, there was someone I wanted to get to earlier. Drew, 7382. You have been so patient. Drew, 7382, was asking about Jack Flaherty on fantasy. Let's look at how his stats are looking. If I go to pitchers, look at where Jack Flaherty, his average. So it depends on which you use. Obviously, you didn't tell me, Drew, so I have no idea. You just put in the fantasy points. But if you're looking at DraftKings, you can see his what the expectation is off of simulations. If you're going off of FanDuel, so that's what I could tell you with the limited information that you provided. Okay, we have some celebrity shots to put up on the board. LRK425 celebrity shot is taking Braves Dodgers money line parlay. Interesting. By the way, parlays are only going to be treated as a cashing ticket, so we got to be a little bit careful here. You don't get the same kind of credit. But LRK425 is taking a Braves money line plus Dodgers money line parlay. I'll just put it so we can make sure we know. Okay, so LRK425 is on the board. There you go. Your celebrity shot of the day. Stephen Pock, I took Shohei Ohtani on 2 hits yesterday. Of course, both of them had to be home runs. Yeah, he crushed. We did well on that. We got that. We called a home run for him, so nailed that one. By the way, if any of you guys want your celebrity shot put up on the big board, make sure you write in the comment section. Make sure you write in the comment section my celebrity pick, just like Mike Oxlong and LRK425 did. We let all of you guys participate in the show. You guys get to put 2 of your favorite picks up on the screen. LRK425, you're totally right. Good call. Top Dog, great to see you today. Wonderful to see you. Happy Tuesday to you. Dante has a pick. Dante is Suzuki over. I am just gonna say I love you guys. I love you guys. However, when you guys don't give me a lot of information, it always means that I have to do the extra work. I'm already doing a lot of work for you guys, so if you can, just write his first name. Just make it easy for me. So Seiya is Suzuki, over half a hit. Great implied half a hit. Great implied probability. I think Dante is dead on this one. This is a great call. 3 out of his last 4 games. And against Luis Ortiz, who, by the way, Luis Ortiz, not a good pitcher. Not a good pitcher, especially on the road. So I like this play. I think this is a really good call, actually. So I'm going to throw this one up on the big board in the celebrity shots for Dante. So we go with Dante. And your celebrity shot is Suzuki. Half a hit. Over half a hit. I like this one as well. Suzuki against right-handed pitching does have a .238 batting average. The only reason I'd be a little bit hesitant, but good track record. By the way, against the Pirates, pretty consistent. Pretty consistent in getting a hit. So I'm going to ride this one as well. That makes a second pick that you guys have put up as a celebrity shot that I'm going to go with as well. So I am going to tell you, over half a hit. We like those over half a hits. If you find good players who you can get over half a hit on, that's a good play. So Dante, big shout out to you. Great find. Top Dog has his celebrity shot of the day. He is going with, so we put up Top Dog. Top Dog is going with Willie Adames over half a strikeout. Over half a strikeout. Love, by the way, the strikeout calls. Let's look at Willie Adames. Willie Adames. And looking at his strikeouts. So it's interesting. I'm not seeing it at a half. You might be. I'm not. Right now I'm seeing it at 1.5. But very consistent play. If you can get it at half, I take it. No questions asked. Really do like the play. Just haven't gotten it. Just haven't seen it. By the way, Drew 7382. Thank you for Tucker the Turkey. Have not seen that before. Tucker the Turkey making an appearance here at Butt Fumble Sports' show. So Tucker the Turkey. Good thing it's not November because we hunt. We hunt. Let's go. Okay. Jorge, you are... Mike Oxlong has been really patient. Let's get to Mike Oxlong, and then we'll get to Jorge's question. But Mike Oxlong, you're asking about Aaron Hicks over half a base. Really interesting. Aaron Hicks over half a base. So, wow. Good implied probability here. Good track record of over the last 10 games. Really interesting. Ever since joining the Baltimore Orioles, he has had a bit of a resurgence. Looking at his stats, lifetime... Interesting that he doesn't have any stats lifetime against Chris Bassett. You would have think they would have come across each other in some way. It's interesting. I see the problem is that those 75 at bats, 227 average has me a little bit wary. I do like it. I'm not going to throw it up on my big board. Again, more because I am kind of fading Hicks overall. But that said, I do just absolutely love this play. I'm, again, not going to put it on my big board, Mike Oxlong, but that said, I do like this play. By the way, this is a special day for me and my family, so if any given point I'm looking at my phone and might have to turn away, I am about to become an uncle for the first time ever, so we have some news coming down on the more serious, real side of life. So at any moment during the show, if you see me turn to my phone, which again, Butt Fumble Sports phone case, which is a great thing. But that said, if any of you guys see me do that, I normally am completely committed and solely focused on you guys. But this is a big deal in my family, big deal for me. So shout out to the most important person in my world, as my sister brings life into this world. And of course, I appreciate you guys understanding. We are here for sports, but there are things that do come first. And for me, there's nothing more important than family. So thank you for your guys' kind comments. But at any moment, if you see me looking at my phone, it is not me not paying attention to you. It's me making sure that all is right with those that I care about. That said, Top Dog has another celebrity shot on the board. Top Dog has another celebrity shot on the board. And the celebrity shot that Top Dog is going to give out. By the way, Top Dog, we need to get you back on the winning track. I saw you've kind of gone cold, man. We got to get you hot again. Top Dog was one of our best celebrity pickers. Now we got to get you hot again. Okay, Top Dog is taking Eli De La Cruz over half a hit. So Eli De La Cruz over half a hit. And I want to make sure that everyone pays attention to this. Because again, Eli De La Cruz is a player that we are going to be talking about a lot. This kid is the next superstar in this league. And you got to pay attention to him every day. Over half a hit, 69% implied probability, and has been really consistent. I actually like that he missed yesterday. Because how long is this kid's hitting streak going to go? Love the fact that he missed yesterday, actually. I know that we're trying to cash on that. But I do like him to get a hit today. This is a righty-lefty matchup against Jordan Lyles. And by the way, you guys know how I feel about Jordan Lyles. That is a flaming bag of poop that's been left on the porch. Don't step on it. It's only going to get your shoes dirty. But Jordan Lyles gives up home runs. He gives up hits. He gives up runs. He gives up base runners. Eli De La Cruz, over half a hit. No frickin' brainer. So I already had this one as well. Eli De La Cruz, over half a hit is absolutely a play I like today, but I'm also going to look for him over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. This kid gets on base, he scores. Over 57%, really consistent. If I think he's going to get on base, and I think he's going to get a steal, then I think he's going to score a run. He's going to put himself in scoring position. So for me, I'm doubling down on this kid. Eli De La Cruz, over 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs, and you can just see, I'm loaded up on him. Got him on my steals for the day. Got him on hits, runs, and RBIs. Have him on a hit. Just a lot of confidence in this kid. And again, I almost like the fact that he went 0 for 5 yesterday. It makes me expect him to have a bounce-back game today. Tony on YouTube. Big shout out to you, Tony. Tony is throwing his celebrity shot up on the big board. Tony, I believe this is going to be your first time on the big board. So, Tony, welcome to the big board. By the way, Top Dog, you already gave us 2 celebrity shots. You only get 2. Do you want to take one down, or are you just sharing it with us? Okay, Tony is taking our first hockey pick of the day. He is taking the Golden Knights on the money line. And you know what, Tony? I'm right there with you, buddy. Right there with you. Golden Knights on the money line is one of the plays that I like today as well. This is a no-brainer for me. And actually, I'm going to double down on this one, and I'm also going to say Golden Knights minus 1.5. Now, you guys may be surprised on that. You've heard me throughout the NHL playoffs. I've really been gaga about the Panthers and their ability to cover. But I saw a really interesting trend as I was doing my research for the show. If I look at the Knights 1.5, look at head-to-head between the Panthers and the Knights. See if you guys notice the same trend I do. When has it covered? Vegas was at home. Vegas was at home. Vegas was at home. Vegas was at home. So the last 4 games that these two teams have played in Las Vegas, the Knights have not only won, but they've covered the 1.5. That's the kind of trend that when I see it, I'm riding with it. Before, when I looked at like how they've done over the last 10 games overall, it was, okay, the Panthers are a good cover play. But when you look at when the Panthers go to Vegas and play the Knights, Vegas covers. So, With that said, I am taking the Knights on the money line. That's one bet. I'm not just going to take Knights to cover. I'm going to make them two separate plays, but I will take Golden Knights on the money line and Golden Knights on the puck line as well. So there you go. I have one more pick for this game, but I'm going to hold off. Every time we get our celebrity... Actually, I'll give it out. You guys have given a ton of gifts already today, so I'm going to give out this pick. I'm going to give out this pick. So, Candyman, are you sure you want to bet the NHL? Candyman, I feel like when you've been the WNBA man. Are you sure you want to go after the puck? Because you're talking about 6. Candyman's saying it's going to go over 6. Are you sure? Candyman says it's not a celebrity shot, but I'm going in the other direction. I think. So again, if we go back, let's look at this. I'm leaning towards the under. Let's look at it from the over perspective. The over has hit only 30% of the time for both of these teams over their last 10. So the under's the stronger play. Over their last 20, 40% of the time. Head to head. But here's what's interesting. Again, how do we determine this? When it's been in Vegas, it's gone over. So I guess we got to ride it. So we'll take the under and the over, but at 2 different points. Wait for it. So I like the over 5.5. I like the over 5.5. However, I know this is obvious but I'll write it out anyways. Golden Knights over 5.5. However, where's a good underplay? 7? Under 7? Under 6.5? Are we going to call it dead on at 6 goals? There's a part of me that wants to say this is a 4-2 game. So as crazy as this is, I kind of want to take it Panthers, Golden Knights, under 6.5. I'm on both sides of it. I'm going to be crazy. I'm not telling you guys to tail this. I'm not telling you to tail this. But I have decided that I'm going to go chase. I like it. And again, I don't think this is chasing. I actually think this is trend play. I think it's going to be at 6. So I'm going to be on both sides of it. One of them's going to cash. I just hope it's both of them. Candyman saying the score is going to be 6-5. Woo! Candyman. Are you expecting a baseball game to break out? I mean, geez Louise, Candyman. Okay, Drew 7382 just hit that confetti, which means we have to give out a pick of our own. We do have some NHL player prop bets that I want to give out. The first one, we've been riding this pretty consistently. That is Jack Eichel over 0.5 point. Didn't hit last game, but it's been very consistent, especially at home. Let's actually look at it really quick so you can see what I'm talking about. Jack Eichel over 0.5 point. Oh. And if we go to points, 0.5 point. The over is 68% implied probability, so really strong there. Additionally, other than last game, what a phenomenal stretch. What a good run. First 3 games of the series. Really like the play. Let's look at it at home. 4 games in a row at home. 4 games in a row at home. I know it's the minus 209, but I do like it. So that is another play that I like. We will throw picks up on the big board. Every time you hook us up with that confetti, we give out one of our favorite picks of the day. So make sure you guys hook us up. Every time we get a gift of that confetti, we give out one of our favorite picks. We just gave out Jack Eichel over 0.5 point. We have a ton of MLB to get to. There was someone who was asking a moment ago about a run in the first inning. Dave, I'm going to get to your question in just 1 second. 1 second, Dave, but there was a question I wanted to get to. Must have lost it in the chat. Oh, there it is. It's on YouTube. Top Dog was asking about Marlins, Mariners, no run in the first inning. I like that one as well. So I'll throw that one up on my board as my first baseball play of the day. Marlins, Mariners, no run in the first inning. Marlins Mariners, no run in the first inning is a play that I like. Throwing that up on the big board. Answering that question from Top Dog. RJ is asking about Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette. Now, RJ's asking about it at 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. I don't like taking 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. I'm just going to say that. Usually when it's set at that mark, I avoid it naturally. Just isn't a good play. At 2.5, you're really pushing it. You're really pushing it. You're expecting kind of a massive day from him. It's just not something I like to do. So at 2.5 for Bo Bichette, you see the implied probability. Like, could I see it hitting? Yeah, I could. It's not one I want to take. Not one I want to take. Not consistent enough as a trend. If I look at it on the road, not consistent. Not consistent. Against this pitcher, Bo Bichette actually has a terrible batting average. 176 average. Don't know where you got that idea from, RJ. I know that there's some people who have put out on YouTube and TikTok or elsewhere, they think that he could hit a home run today. I'm not as crazy about him. I don't like Bo Bichette today. If I do like anyone, like I mentioned earlier, it's Vlad Guerrero Jr. I'd also have my eye on Matt Chapman. Matt Chapman. Top Dog is asking about Jordan Lyles over on earned runs. We talked about him as a flaming bag of poop on your porch. Over 2.5 earned runs. Just look, we type his name into Outlier, the tool we use to come up with some of this research. Implied probability. What is the first thing that comes up? Over 2.5 earned runs. Over 2.5 earned runs. By the way, RJ, I didn't see the under 2.5. RJ was asking about under 2.5 for Bo Bichette. RJ, I love that play. Yes, yes, yes. RJ, under 2.5 is a good play. Good call, RJ. Good call. That's a better play. Good job. By the way, Jordan Lyles, welcome to grass. Welcome to a lawn. That's a ton of green right there. Just one shrub that didn't grow. But that is definitely what we love. We're taking Jordan Lyles. I was taking this automatically. This was actually in my research as well. Jordan Lyles over 2.5 earned runs. You can put it on the board. Yes, sir. Top Dog, you're also asking about the Astros and the Braves on the money line. Astros and Braves on the money line. So Braves on the money line, I love them today. Love the Braves on the money line today. Spencer Strider on the mound. I'll put that one up on the board. It's a no-brainer for me. Kind of an obvious play. It was one of the reasons I didn't go to it right off the cuff. But Braves on the money line with Spencer Strider on the bump. No frickin' brainer. Very obvious to me. Then, to your next question on YouTube, it was about the Astros on the money line. Now, the Astros are facing the Nationals. It's a really good matchup against Patrick Corbin. I like the Astros as well. Hunter Brown's been good, but Patrick Corbin, left-handed pitcher against this lineup, he's got a higher ERA. Look at how the Astros have done against him lifetime. Couple of hitters with okay numbers. Not a huge sample size, though, but I do like this one. I do like this game. Good opportunity to take him. So I would also take the Astros on the money line. I think they're going to score some runs against Patrick Corbin. There you go. Some more picks that we just threw up on the board. Now, I want to get to this fantasy question. There was a great fantasy question from Dave. Dave was asking... Let's get to Dave's original question. So, Dave, sorry to be off topic, but am I crazy to draft Bijan at 3 in a redraft behind Christian McCaffrey and JJ? The answer is yes, you're crazy. The answer is yes. Bijan Robinson is not worth that high a pick. He is not worth that high a pick. I absolutely don't think that he would be worth it. I think that there are a couple reasons why I would avoid that. Couple reasons. First of all, Dave, rookie running backs are a great play through the first 12 weeks of a season. Go back and look at rookie running backs in the first 12 weeks of a season. They're a really good play. But come the end of the regular season, what would be your fantasy season, that's usually when rookie running backs hit that wall. They're used to a college football schedule, which is about 12, 13 weeks, 12, 13 games. But football, NFL, week 12, you still got a ways to go. You still got 5 games left, and you're not getting that big break before a bowl game. So I'm actually always very wary of taking a running back too high in a draft. I like to take rookie running backs late because they're undervalued. a lot of times. So, like, I got Kenneth Walker the third last year. I got Damian Pierce. They were steals. Great plays, but that's because I could get them late. If you're in an auction league, they're really cheap. If you're in a snake draft league, you can usually get them at later rounds, and they actually become really good backups or number RB2s. But that said, if you're drafting him number 3 overall, you're expecting 17 weeks of production, and I don't anticipate that. Do I think he could also have some struggles with that Falcons offensive line? Yes, I do. I don't have as much faith in the offensive line as I do with others. So for me, is he a top 3 guy? No. Is he a top 12? Absolutely. I do like him at that kind of like 10 mark. Like if you're at the end of a first round, he's someone I might consider as a first running back you take. But if you're drafting in the first 5 picks, no, I would not go with Bijan Robinson. Okay, getting back to some of your questions. Jorge was asking about Brandon Crawford over half a base. Brandon Crawford over half a base. By the way, Zoidstein on Twitch. Welcome to the Butt Fumble Sports community. Zoidstein on Twitch. I'm happy to have you as a part of the show. Appreciate the support. Okay, Brandon Crawford over half a base. Let's get back into it. And forgive me, we are on baby watch here at Butt Fumble Sports. No word yet, but I can assure you we will provide breaking news if anything goes on during the show. But Brandon Crawford. Let's look at Brandon Crawford. And you were asking about over half a base. So let's look at it. So the over has a strong implied probability here. Really good, actually. 4 out of the last 6 games, like that trend. Starting pitcher, Jack Flaherty. The whip, 1.5. Higher than you'd like to see. How about stats lifetime against Jack Flaherty? Brandon Crawford, 0 for 4. 0 for 4. So something I would probably avoid. Not a strong enough play for me. Part of me likes it because I could think he could get a hit and there's your base. I'm just not going to endorse it. So the answer is, Jorge, I don't dislike it. I'm just not going to support it. I'm just not going to endorse it. But I don't dislike it. By the way, IP Shade 45, thank you so much for the confetti. I will get to a pick in just 1 second. But first, let's get to Mike Oxlong and Anthony Rizzo over half a hit, over half a base. By the way, Dave, who asked that question about fantasy, make sure you join us tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We have our weekly NFL show. I guarantee you won't want to miss it. We're going to break down a lot of what's going around in the NFL. Anthony Rizzo, over half a base. Now, he's got a brutal matchup tonight against Max Scherzer. And he has been struggling. I mean, Anthony Rizzo cannot buy a hit right now. So I would probably fade him. Additionally, you just look at his stats against Scherzer, not good. So, Mike, I understand what you're thinking here. And if Anthony Rizzo had been playing better, keep in mind, if you remember, he suffered like a neck-shoulder injury not too long ago, and he really hasn't been right since then. He's in one of the worst slumps of his career. I'm not going to bet on a guy to get out of a slump. I'm going to bet on a guy who's gotten out of a slump. So once Anthony Rizzo puts together 1 or 2 days of good offense, I'll go back to him. But for now, Mike Oxlong, for me, I'd avoid Anthony Rizzo. It's a tough pitching matchup. Just not what we're looking for. Again, it's not that I don't like it. It's not that I couldn't see it happening. For me, it's more, if I'm going to give you advice on what you should do with your hard-earned money, I got to have real conviction behind it. Or otherwise, I'm talking out of my butt fumble, and that's not what we do here. Okay, we have another pick to give out. Thank you, IP Shade 45, for hooking us up with that confetti. We have another pick to give out. I am going to take the Reds on the money line. Reds on the money line. I'm going to jump into it so you can see why. Because there's another part of this one that I like as well. So Reds on the money line is a play I like, but what I'm actually going to switch it because what I really love, I wanted to make sure it was there, is Reds plus 1.5. I can't believe we're getting this. It's a minus 205, but I love this play. Love this play. So that said, I'm probably on both. I'm actually going to do both, so I will take Reds on the money line, but I also like the Reds plus 1.5. Now the starting pitching matchup, Williamson hasn't been that good this year, but we just talked about Jordan Lyles. How could I go against a team that's facing someone that's 0 for 10 this year? I mean, like, you gotta take it. You gotta take it. LRK425, I understand why KC might win, but for me, I gotta ride this one. Jordan Lyles, yeah, he's actually owned the few Reds hitters that he's faced. Maybe that's reason for me to be concerned, but I gotta dive into this one head first. By the way, McLean, Friedel, Eli De La Cruz, Steer, India, all of them have good numbers against right-handed pitching. I think this is a good lineup. I'm not that concerned about it. The Reds have been playing good baseball. They won yesterday. They came back to win. Love what I'm seeing from them. I'm going to go with it. Minus 108 on the money line, minus 205 on the run line. You can put it on the board. I know it might not be as appealing to you guys as it is to me, but I'm going to take it. So there's a pick. Thank you, IP-Shade45 for the confetti. Yeah, okay. By the way, LRK425, free rider. If you guys want to make it your celebrity shot of the day, if you like it and you want to throw it up here as your celebrity pick of the day, I'm all for it. More than happy to do that for you guys. Just let us know. Is Christian Yelich over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs a good play today? Same for Jock Peterson. By the way, IP-Shade45, I love where your head's at. I love the research you're doing because we're like this, son. We're like this. We're thinking along the same lines. So I actually have both of those players on my radar today. Good call. By the way, we just got a ton of comments in from YouTube. Don't worry, we'll get to those in 1 second. Christian Yelich, and you were asking about over LRK425. IP Shade is a legend. IP Shade is a legend. Let's just acknowledge legend status for sure. So anyways, you're asking about hits, runs, and RBIs for Christian Yelich. 1.5, not attractive enough. Not attractive enough. Now against Pablo Lopez, this is what had my attention. Great numbers. And this is why IP-Shade45 is focused on it as well. So I did want to take it, but I wanted to see if there was something else. Hits, runs, and RBIs, it's on the fence for me. I'm considering it, but what about bases? No. What about hits? Can we get half a hit? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. So Christian Yelich over half a hit is what I would take. I'm not going to talk you out of hits, runs, and RBIs. IP-Shade45, I actually like it. I'm not going to put it up on my big board, but I do like it. I do like it. He's got good numbers against the starting pitcher. It's just the implied probability. I could see it missing, so I'm not going to touch it, but IP-Shade45, that doesn't mean I don't like Christian Yelich tonight on over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. I do, just not confident enough to put it on my big board. As you saw, the implied probability there is at 53%. That kind of reflects my confidence level. And as I say to you guys, we usually don't put something up on the big board if my confidence level is lower than 55-60%. Drew7382 is asking about Hill on saves tonight. Let's get into that. Aiden Hill. So, looking at saves, you're looking at over 24.5 saves. Well, I'm seeing it set at 28.5. And it's 55% implied probability. So I love that. Look at it, though, at home. 3 straight games where it's gone over the 28.5. If you can get this is important. Drew7382 is hitting on something that's really important. If you can get this at 24.5, let's look at over 24.5 is going off right now at minus 370. If you're just looking for a good play, this is a good play, Drew7382. But it's really not available for most of us. Over 27.5 is a good play at home. How about head-to-head? Really good play. The only one it missed was in Florida. I like this one, but I'm going to take it at 27.5 because, again, we're trying to get odds that are a little bit closer to what people like here. Over 26.5 actually is probably the best, so I'll take it there. This is an in-show research play. So Aiden Hill over 26.5 saves. Over 26.5 saves. There you go. Good call. Love it. Okay, Mike Oxlong, you guys are asking about Rafael Devers on hits and bases. Let's look at Rafi Devers, and we'll do both of them at the same time. So Rafi Devers, hits, runs, and RBIs, total bases, all of that good stuff. Oh, let's get over back to baseball. So, Rafael Devers, the questions that we got in were about bases and were about hits. So, over half a hit, 71% implied probability. He's facing Chase Anderson, who's pitched really well this year, actually, in terms of an ERA. Really impressive. Lifetime against Anderson. Devers does have a 300 batting average, couple RBIs. I like over half a hit here. This is a no-brainer for me. Again, it's minus 250, so again, probably the leg of a parlay. But yes, Rafael Devers over, is that half a hit? Bingo. Now let's look at total bases. Total bases is 1.5. Not as strong a play. Not as strong a play. So I like the half a hit. I don't like it on bases. LRK425, you know our rule. There are no such thing as locks. I would say when it comes to the Astros, my confidence level is about 70%, 75%. So that's pretty high. But I'm never going to call something a lock. It's just not what Butt Fumble Sports does. No such thing as a lock. I saw the New England Patriots undefeated go play the New York Football Giants. Everyone said it was a lock. We all know what happened. Guerra is asking about Miguel Cabrera over a half a hit, run, and RBI. Interesting you're seeing it set at half. That's a really interesting play. It goes to show just where Miguel Cabrera is in his career. Hits, runs, and RBIs over half. Good implied probability. By the way, really good trend of late as well. Really good trend as well. Spencer Strider, no stats against him. Against right-handed pitchers, though, a 203 average. I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it. Tough pitching matchup. Bad season-long average. I know it's hit in 3 of the last 4, 5 of the last 6. At home, 3 games in a row, 5 out of the last 6. I'm just not going to touch it. Just don't have enough confidence in it. Don't think it's a bad play, Guerra. Just not one I'm going to take. Duvall over half a hit. Let's go to Duvall. Duvall over half a hit. Adam Duvall. By the way, can you guys believe it's already been an hour and 10 minutes of our show? I can't believe how fast it goes. Okay, Duvall, since coming back, 1 for 3. Again, Chase Anderson. Now, against Chase Anderson lifetime, Duvall's 0 for 2, so no stats there. Against right-handed pitching, Duvall has a 344 average this year, but that's speaking to prior to the injury, so it's a little bit skewed. I would say I do like over half a hit. I'm not going to throw it up on my big board, but I do like this. I actually do like the play. Okay, Dante has another pick. Dante is taking Spencer Strider over half a win. This is an interesting one. So that's Dante is taking Spencer Strider over half a win. So Dante thinks Spencer Strider is going to be the winning pitcher in that game. Oh, Drew, they removed it on you. Oh, poopy. Lame. Hate it. Vegas, you suck. Top dog, Hunter Brown, over half, over 5.5. So let's look at it. I think we all know where I'm going to go on this one. Hunter Brown, starting pitcher of the Houston Astros. And we're asking about strikeouts. We asked about strikeouts. So implied probability is the same on the two, 52%. Over 5.5, though, has been a very good play of late. Very good play of late. The only one it missed over the last 5 games was on the road to Toronto, and that's a good team. Now, if the Nationals haven't faced him, but the Nationals against right-handed pitching, only a couple hitters hit right-handed pitching well. So not too many hitters in this lineup hit right-handed pitching well. That's certainly encouraging there. And look at the strikeout percentages. Not too high, a lot of in the 20s, so not too high, but Hunter Brown has had a good Ks per 9, something to keep mind of. And let's look at home. 2 games in a row it's hit. Again, that was against the Twins and the A's, 2 teams that do strike out. So for this one, let's look at an alternative line. 4.5's going off at minus 265. If you're willing to eat the odds, I take it. But the 5.5 I like as well. I'm not going to go crazy on this. I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence about putting it up on the big board. I like the 4.5, obviously. 5.5, maybe not as much. I'll do both. I'm going to put both up on the big board, but I'm going to say that the second one should be the leg of a parlay. So Hunter Brown over 5.5 strikeouts. And then Hunter Brown over 4.5 strikeouts. But I'm going to put, I'll say, leg of parlay. Just so you guys know that that's how I'm thinking of that. Okay, guys. These are the picks we've thrown up on the screen so far. Hope you guys are having a lot of fun. Farika, thank you for joining us, even though you're working. Farika, hope you're having a great Tuesday. Top Dog, Dante, Zoidstein, RJ, Austin, Ryan, Jeff, Haley, great to have you watching our show on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. Hope you're enjoying our content. Okay. Again, every time we get a gift of confetti, we give out a pick. Every time we hit 2,000 likes, we give out a long ball, long shot of the day. For those watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button. If you're watching on YouTube, Kick, Twitch, or TikTok, make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you hit the like button on the video, guys. So we've just hit 4,000 likes. We've just hit 4,000 likes. So again, every time we hit 2,000 like benchmark, we give out a long ball, long shot of the day. Every time you guys share the channel, we give out a player we think is going to get a stolen base. Here's our next long ball, long shot of the day. We're going to go with Max Muncy. Max Muncy today. I'm going to show you the odds on this one. Max Muncy to hit a home run, you can get it at plus 330. Good implied probability. He has been slumping on home runs of late. Facing Lance Lynn, though, he is 1 for 2 lifetime. But if we look at the weather in this one, let's go back over to the weather. How are home runs going to be affected in this Dodger game? Look at where the wind's blowing. Blowing out, blowing to right field. That's Max Muncy territory. So against Lance Lynn, really like this play. So once again, player that we're putting up on the big board to hit a home run, Max Muncy. Now let's go look at hits, runs, and RBIs. Let's do our research. How about on total bases? So we go around, total bases, 1.5. No, not for us. Hits, runs, and RBIs, 55%. 55% has been a cold stretch for it. So maybe one you don't like. Won't throw it up on my big board. Like it, don't love it. Over on hits. Over half a hit I love, though. Max Muncy over half a hit. Surprised that this is being offered. Max Muncy over half a hit. And again, at minus 160. That is shockingly low to me. That's such a good play. Max Muncy over half a hit at minus 160. Yes, please. Don't understand that. Okay. Getting to more of your questions. Zeke Tovar over half a base. Let's look at Tovar over half a base. Strong implied probability at 65%. Really strong trend over the last 10 games. And he's facing Carl Crawford. Does he have any history, or Cutter Crawford rather? No history against him, against right-handed pitching this year. Tovar does have a 255 average, not great, but I do like the trend here. I'm going to ride this one as well. I'm going to put this one up on the board. Ezekiel Tovar over half a base. Over half a base. Like it. Michael Conforto over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. I was thinking about taking him for a home run today, so I think I will like him on hits, runs, and RBIs. Let's look at it. Oh, Conforto. Michael Conforto, hits, runs, and RBIs. Implied probability isn't on our side on this one. Hasn't been too consistent. Against Jack Flaherty, though, he does have good numbers. 1 for 3 with a home run. It's one that I like. I'm not going to put up on the big board, but because the trend isn't there, but I kind of like it. So I'm not going to talk you out of it. I'm not saying I'm necessarily talking you into it, but not a bad play, actually. Not a bad play, actually. Justin Turner over 1.5 total bases. Interesting, 1.5 total bases. Seems a little high for Justin Turner. I know, by the way, Justin Turner is starting to hit well. So, but 1.5 bases, the under's the stronger play. You have seen 4 straight games this has hit. And against Chase Anderson, he does have... Oh, he's only 0-1. So nothing really to speak of here. Against right-handed pitching, 256 average. I wouldn't take it. I'm going to say no on the over 1.5 bases. I know it's a tough play. Oh, it's too bad. I wanted over half a hit. The over 1.5 bases, I don't hate because I could see him getting a double. But that said, I'm not going to put it up on my big board. LRK 425. Finally, the Oakland A's are on a winning streak. They have the longest winning streak in all of baseball. By the way, if you had bet them over the last couple of days, put $100 on them, you'd have $2,000. That said, the Rays today, who's on the mound for them? Jalen Beeks. Not one of their best. Not one of their best. So interestingly enough, could be better. Starting pitcher for the A's today, Hogan Harris, 6.46 ERA. Yuck. Not a huge sample size, though. Against left-handed pitching, Ramirez, Franco, Paredes, Walls, all these guys rake against left-handed pitching. On the other side, not too many averages that are really on fire for the Oakland A's. I will say Ruiz is someone we got our eye on for a stolen base always, though Jalen Beeks is a tough guy to steal against. That said, I do like the Rays today. I'm going to do it. I'm going to fade the A's. Sorry, A's fans. I think the end comes. Rays on the money line. But here's a great note about this game tonight. Great note about this game. So the Oakland A's obviously have terrible ownership. They just haven't invested in the team. They don't put the money in. They've had this long back and forth with Oakland about a new stadium, all of that. That said, the fans of the Oakland A's have prepared a reverse, what is it, a reverse rally, a reverse boycott in which they're actually attending the game tonight in mass numbers to actually stir up the idea of the A's ownership selling the team. So this is an unbelievable circumstance in which you have the fan base actually showing up to boycott the team. Bizarre. LRK425, we literally just looked at Jalen Beeks. I literally just looked at him. I just had it up here. Jalen Beeks, I literally just showed him. And for me, it's more about, I love the A's hitters against left-handed pitching, against the A's against left-handed pitching. I don't feel as good against Jalen Beeks. Loreno's has a home run against him. Diaz, but other than that, we just looked at it. So no, I like the Rays on this one. I know the A's have been hot, but not about it. Okay. LRK425. Okay. There your take. LRK425, you want me to put is your celebrity shot today the Oakland A's? Are you riding the win streak to 7? Let's see. LRK425, do you like... Oh, okay. No, LRK425 isn't going to throw money down on it. But, hey, I like to see the A's showing fight, so I am going to fade them today, though. Okay, IP Shade 45 brings up a great comment. Hit that like button, by the way. Hit that like button. Let's get up to 6,000 likes, because LRK425 is hitting on something. Would love to talk about it. Before we get to LRK425's question, though, Yuri Gurriel. Top Dog is asking about Yuri Gurriel. And by the way, yes, I do love Yuri Gurriel today. He's got unbelievable numbers against the pitcher he's facing. So Yuri Gurriel, but he's not available. Not available, so I can't do it. But if Yuri Gurriel was in the lineup, I would take him on over half a hit. Great numbers. Okay. Jorge is just shared the chat, just shared the channel. Thank you so much. Every time you guys share, we give out a player we think is going to get a stolen base today. Tommy Edman. Tommy Edman is a player we love to get a stolen base today, believe it or not. So Tommy Edman, 23% implied probability, plus 330. Now, Tommy Edman is facing Alex Cobb, who gives up a lot of stolen bases. Tommy Edman is the best player when it comes to stolen bases against right-handed pitching for the Cardinals. So that's why I like Tommy Edman to get a stolen base. Again, if you guys want my stolen base picks, just share the channel. Every time you guys share the channel, I give out a player I think is going to get a stolen base. Ronald Acuna Jr. Jorge has been asking about Ronald Acuna Jr. to get a stolen base for a minute now. So Ronald Acuna Jr. to get a stolen base, 29% implied probability here. Really high. Really high. Against Reese Olson. It's just no track record. I love the implied probability. I'll say that. I'll throw it up on the big board. Sure, it's an in-show play. I'll do that. Ronald Acuna Jr. I'll throw that one up as someone who I think could get a stolen base today. Yes, I do. Alex is asking about Jordan Lyles under on strikeouts. By the way, if you guys have a favorite play of the day, a favorite pick, write in the comment section, my celebrity shot or my celebrity pick and whatever it is. We'll throw it up on the big board. Keep track of it every day. That way you guys can play along with us at home. Jorge just answered that. If we like Eli De La Cruz and Ronald Jr., we like them both to get a steal. So there you go. IP Shade 45 just took this up with some confetti. Every time we get confetti, which is our live goal, we give out a pick. So I'm going to give out a pick of my own in just 1 second. But first, let's go to Alex was asking about Jordan Lyles under on strikeouts. So let's look at Jordan Lyles. We're already fading him pretty heavy. Jordan Lyles on strikeouts. So the over-under, the implied probability isn't working for us. The track record, very hit or miss. How has he been at home? I can't give this one out. Not enough of a track record, not enough of a trend. Not going to touch this one. So to the question, Alex, I like where your head's at, but not one for me. Not one for me. So, Mike, you were asking about Bobby Witt Jr. and the starting pitching matchup. The answer is no. The answer is no. It's a left-handed pitcher, Brandon Williamson. I don't like Bobby Witt Jr. today to get a stolen base. And Alexander's considering the Royals on the run line. I'm going in the other direction, which is Reds on the run line. And not to make fun of you, Alexander, but I'm going to. Alexander right now is 0 for 4 in his celebrity shot picks. So if Alexander is considering the Kansas City Royals on the run line, I like my Reds on the run line play. And by the way, Alexander, that's totally me just giving you a hard time. Love your support, just giving you a hard time to Josh with you. Like giving you an elbow to the ribs just as some fun. So Alexander, that was all for fun. But no, I like the Reds to cover the 1.5. Okay, so we got some confetti, so that means we've got to give out a pick. We have a pick to give out. Someone was asking about this a moment ago, so it fits perfectly. Throw it on the board. Dodgers on the money line. Dodgers on the money line. It's Lance Lynn versus Tony Gonsolin. Tony Gonsolin at home this year. 2-0 record. 2.30 ERA. 15.2 thirds innings pitched. Only 1 home run allowed. Opponents have a 175 batting average against him. So I actually love the starting matchup. The White Sox are 1-6 against the Dodgers in their last 7 meetings. White Sox are 2-9 in their last 11 road games versus a team with a winning record. Love the Dodgers today. Love it, love it, love it. Mike Oxlong, how long do you think Christian Encarnacion Strand goes before getting called up? We're right now entering the time where these prospects get called up. You're seeing it with Eli De La Cruz and others. Remember a couple of years back when Chris Bryant was a prospect for the Cubs? This is all about ownership, playing time. So in baseball, if a rookie, I believe it's service time is like 6 years before you're a free agent. Like once you start your service time, it's 6 years until you hit free agency. It's like 3 before arbitration. I might be wrong on that, but it's about that, 5-6 years. So the whole point is, I think that calendar starts in like June. So it's all about GMs right now understanding, okay, if I call him up now, how does it impact the service time? I want to get him for the next full season. So it's like that cutoff point where if you brought him up in May, this year would count as a full year of service time. If you call him up at like June, I think it doesn't. So the whole point is it's about the service time and how you own your prospect for the extra year when they're ideally hitting their prime. So Christian Encarnacion Strand, he's coming up soon, but I think it's going to be a few more weeks. Alexander hit on the Orioles yesterday, but it wasn't one of your it wasn't one of your celebrity shots. Didn't see it on the big board, buddy. So, Alexander giving you a hard time. Alexander, if you do have a celebrity shot of the day, let us know. We want to get you that win. We want to get you on the big board with a win next to your name. For all of those who have picks of their own, let us know. We don't just think we're the only person here who knows how to make a pick. Let us know what your favorite picks are of the day. Put it in the comments section. Write my celebrity shot or my celebrity pick, and then whatever you're going with. Doesn't matter. NHL, player prop bet, MLB, let's go. Mike Oxlong saying he's going to be 6-6 after today's action, 4-6 now. Mike Oxlong likes Julio Rodriguez and Luis Arraez. By the way, we missed on Luis Arraez yesterday, which almost encourages me to go for it today. Let's look at Luis Arraez. Do we really think he's going to go in 0-4 2 days in a row? So interesting, the hits, it's at 1.5, so we don't like that. Bases, though, 1.5 bases? No. How about on singles? We've been riding singles. It missed yesterday. I'm going to take it today. I'm just going to ride this one. This dude's been too consistent. It missed yesterday. Look at all that green. Do I think he's going to go 0-2 back-to-back days? Now, he's facing a good pitcher in George Kirby. No doubt about it. Good pitcher. But against right-handed pitching, he's got a .393 batting average. We got to go with this one. So I am going to throw it up on the big board. But it's only for a single. It's only for a single. So there you go, everybody. Another pick. Okay, Candyman has a celebrity shot. Everybody pay attention. Candyman has a celebrity shot. Yes, I do, Alexander. I do know you. You're one of my favorites. Okay, Candyman. Candyman trying to get back on the winning track. And Candyman is always bringing the fire with WNBA plays. So my celebrity shot for Candyman is Washington Mystics and Indiana Fever under 157.5. So that is Mystics, Fever, under, and you were taking it at 157.5. Let's go, Candyman. Candyman, by the way, if we had broken out Candyman's win-loss record, he's 5-3-1 right now, but if it was only the WNBA, would be pretty freaking hot. I think he only has one loss with the WNBA so far. He's been cashing a bunch of tickets. So if you want to tail the WNBA pick of Candyman, there you go. There it is. Believe it or not, I can't believe it. We only have a half hour left of our show. You guys bring so much energy, great questions, great conversation, that we are already 1 hour and 30 minutes into our show. Amazing how quickly it goes by. Makes me sad every day. But that said, I am happy that we have hit now 6,000 likes. I have another long ball, long shot to give out. Josh Bell. Josh Bell. We talked about it. I believe it was IP Shade 45 brought it up in the chat. Josh Bell has really good numbers against Joe Musgrove in his career. If we look to him to get a home run, implied probability is only 12% at plus 750. However, he did hit a home run in his last game. He did have a day off, so I kind of like that. But against Joe Musgrove, doesn't have a home run, but love the numbers. Now, Candyman, hold on. This is a big ask, but I was wondering if you needed any of my WNBA picks to add to your big board, since you don't have any. Candyman, I love your picks. I love your picks. And by the way, Candyman, if you ever wanted to join Butt Fumble Sports as someone who contributes WNBA picks every day, I would take them. I take them and we post them on our website. So Candyman, if you want to DM me after the show and talk about that, feel free. Would love to get you involved. And that goes for all of you guys. Now, specifically Candyman on the WNBA. But if you guys want to get out of the stands and onto the field, if you guys love making picks, love talking sports, want to try your hand at sports content creation, being on-air talent, DM us, reach out to us, Butt Fumble Sports. You can go to our website, buttfumblesports.com, fill in your information and write me an email. We'll reach back out to you guys. If you guys just want to DM us, you guys could do that on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter. But again, if you guys love what you love your conversations around sports, but want to share it with others, want to get into the sports media industry, reach out to us. ButtFumbleSports.com, ButtFumbleSports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at SportsFumble on Twitter. Reach out to us. We would love to have you as a member of our team. We've added a UFC expert. We've added a horse racing expert. We have a NASCAR expert. We have NFL guys. So we have a lot of people here. A lot to go with. IP Shade 45. I like the research aspect of numbers. IP Shade 45. We'd love to have you join the squad. This goes for everybody. So we do like Josh Bell. Plus 750, by the way. This is definitely a half unit play. A half unit play on this. Now, I do want to see hits. Let's look at bases. Over half a base? Are you kidding me? I just showed you his track record against Joe Musgrove. So not only do I like Josh Bell to hit a home run, but Josh Bell over half a base? Yeah, why wouldn't I like that? I like him to get a home run. What about hits, runs, and RBIs? 1.5, not a good play. But what about hits? Over, I'm going to double down on this. I am all over Josh Bell today. We are either riding with it or we're dying with it. Over half a hit. And again, this isn't just because I'm shooting from the hip or I'm just riding something. There's a trend here. He hits Joe Musgrove well. Now, let's quickly look at the weather for this game. Not great when it comes to overall offense, just showing you guys, so I don't want you guys to think that I'm doing this because of the weather. I'm really doing it because I do like the idea of taking him against Joe Musgrove. Okay, Candyman is also saying you could add Mystics money line, first half, and Fever plus 4.5, but alternate it to your board. What do you mean alternate it to your board? Have it as two separate plays? Is that what you're saying? Let us know, Candyman. That said, Jorge has a celebrity shot. Jorge celebrity shot. Let's get Jorge up on the board. Jorge, great to see you. Jorge's celebrity shot. Jorge, by the way, is 6-5 on his celebrity shot, so above 500, hoping to stay that way. And Jorge's taking Aiden Hill over 24.5 saves. Now, that's an alternative line, a very comfy, safe line at like a minus 350 or something. But if that's what Jorge wants, that's what Jorge gets. Okay. We're going to throw these up. I am going to say, we'll find a way of like, since this isn't my play, we're going to say, courtesy of Candyman, WNBA analyst. I'll put it that way. So Candyman giving you your credit. And because it's not mine, I don't want to claim that it's mine. It's not. So Mystics, money line on the first half. Mystics, money line. Should be one first half money line. That's one. And again, we're gonna double down on this. Again, that way you can see all of it. We'll give you as much courtesy as you need. And the Fever plus, it looks like you like the alternative lines. Plus 6. So Fever, let's look at that really quick. Let's look at that really quick. WNBA, going over to the game. I want to get an alternative line on that Fever Mystics. So 4.5 is what we could get Indiana on right now. Alternative, Indiana, Candyman, I can get them at plus 7.5 at minus 160. That's what I'm going to take. Plus 7.5 at minus 160. So if you like the Fever at 5.5 and 6, man, boy, do I like it at 7.5. And to still get it at minus 160, I like that play. That's an easy one for me to go with. So I like it. Candyman, we love the support you show us. Really appreciate it. Candyman, make sure you DM us after the show. Would love to talk to you about doing this more regularly. Jorge is asking about Ruiz over half a stolen base. Jorge, I mentioned this earlier. I'm not saying don't do it. What I'm saying to you is it's a tough matchup for him to steal against. Not an easy pitcher for him to steal against, Jalen Beeks. I do like it. I'm not putting it up on my big board. I do like it. It's just because it's a tough matchup, not good enough for me. Doghouse Breaks 2. Yo, yo, yo. What's up, Doghouse Breaks? Hope you're having a great day. Make sure you guys are following us. Make sure you're a part of this great Butt Fumble Sports community. We are live every single day for 2 hours every day. And that way you guys are always well informed. You get plenty of information. You get your daily fix of sports talk. So make sure you guys follow us. Make sure you're joining us every single day here at Butt Fumble Sports. Your support is how we grow. It's why we're here. It's why I do what I do. So I hope you're with us every single day. Make sure you're following us. Make sure you're with us. Love you being a part of this community. We have hit 8,000 likes because you guys are freaking bosses. Shouldn't have cursed just there. My bad, my bad. You guys are freaking bosses. Love you guys so much. Okay, we have another long ball, long shot of the day to give out before I wash my mouth out with soap. The next one we're going to go with, Jack Sawinski of the Pittsburgh Pirates. This might be a surprising play to some of you guys who don't keep track of him. Good hitter, though. Good hitter. Let's go look at why we like this play so much. So Jack Sawinski of the Pirates, and we're looking at him to hit a home run. Applied probability is 21%. We like that. You could get it at plus 370. We love that. Now, home runs, 2 home runs over his last 3 games. He did have a day off. We love it. But against Jameson Taillon, that's why we have our attention on him. 2 for 3 lifetime with a home run. So not only has he been in a good home run hitting streak, he has a home run against this pitcher. Love the play. So throwing it up on the big board as another one of our long ball, long shots of the day, Jack Sawinski. Now, let's look at hits, runs, RBIs. Let's do our research, total bases, all of that jazz. Over half a base. Come on. If we like him to hit a home run, we love him over half a base. Surprised you're getting it here. So Jack Sawinski, over half a base. Over half a base. Surprised that's available. Love it. Over half a base is going off at minus 155. Really? Minus 155? Love the play. Hits, runs, and RBIs, 1.5? No, but you'd expect that. That's a little too high. How about on overall hits? Half a hit, 60%. Again, minus 150. I'm doing it. I'm all in on Jack Sawinski today. So just like Josh Bell, I'm going on both over half a base, over half a hit. And again, you guys may not want to tail all the way on those, but I love those plays. Can you zoom a little? Can't see the best plays. Zooming in. We just zoomed in for you. There you go. So those are the plays up on the screen. Jorge, do I like Wheeler today? Do I like Zach Wheeler? The answer is no. I don't like Zach Wheeler today. I think there are going to be a lot of runs scored in that Phillies-Arizona game. I'll actually give out a pick for that one. I know we haven't gotten any confetti in a little bit. By the way, every time we get our live goal of confetti, we give out a pick. Just showing you guys all the picks that we have up on the screen so far. So you guys can see them all easily up on the screen. And then down to our WNBA and our long ball long shots of the day, as well as our stolen bases. Stealing is sharing. Every time you guys share the channel, we give out a player we think is going to get a stolen base. We did pretty well on these the last 2 days. So, and then our celebrity shots of the day as well. If you have a pick that you want up on the board as your celebrity shot of the day, just write in the comments section on TikTok, Kick, Twitch, doesn't matter the platform, YouTube. Just write my celebrity pick, my celebrity shot, and then whatever the pick is, once we see it, we'll throw it up on the big board, and that way you guys can play along at home, be a part of our show every single day. You guys can see the records, all the records that you guys have. Just putting some distance there. You guys we keep track of your records, but we have another pick to give out because IP Shade 45. Thank you so much, IP Shade 45, for hooking us up with that confetti. So Zach Wheeler, we don't like Jorge, but because we don't like that, let me give out a pick for that game. we've been giving out some more of these. We've been giving out some more first inning runs, no runs. This one, Diamondbacks, Phillies, yes to a first inning run. Yes to a run in the first inning. We do like this play, everybody. We do like this play. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. We are not done giving out long ball, long shots of the day. So if you guys have a favorite, if you guys want more long ball, long shots of the day, make sure that you guys are hitting that like button. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Okay, do I like the Phillies on the money line today? No, Doghouse Breaks 2. I'm avoiding that game. That was a really tricky one for me to pick. So in reviewing that game, I decided to avoid that game, not touching it, Doghouse Breaks 2. Okay, Jorge's been sharing the channel today, helping us out grow. Appreciate the support, Jorge. Another player that we like on a steal today. Another player that I like on a steal. Now, this is tough. I'm going to actually give out two, but they're teammates. So here's a tough one. Candyman, let us know what the trade was. I'd love to answer your question, Candyman. But Jorge, here we're going to give out two, actually. This is going to be a 2-for-1. I'm not sure which player it is, but I want to kind of be on both of them. I'm going with Miles Straw of the Indians. I also like Stephen Kwan. You're probably being smart on this, and you're like, oh, why do you like the Indians? Or, oh my God, I keep doing that. Why do you like the Guardians to get stolen bases? Joe Musgrove gives up stolen bases. So, Stephen Kwan, stolen bases, over half a stolen base, 16% implied probability, not high, but I could get it at plus 330. He's the Guardians. He's one of their best players against right-handed pitching at stolen bases. So how I did my research on this, I look for pitchers who give up stolen bases, then I go to the team they're facing, and I look for the hitters, the base runners, who have the most stolen bases against a right-handed pitcher or a left-handed pitcher, depending on which split is applicable. So, against right-handed pitchers, Straw and Kwan have the two best stolen base percentages and have the highest amount of stolen bases. So that's why I'm going with them. So it's Miles Straw and Stephen Kwan. Straw has the better implied probability on stolen bases, and he's going off at just plus 470. Doesn't have a stolen base over his last 10 games, but I am throwing those out there on the big board, guys. Again, for long ball, long shots of the day and stealing is sharing, I would say those are half unit plays. Not a full unit, but a half a unit. Okay, Drew, 7382. We're going to put Drew's... Okay, this is the order of things. We're going to put Drew's celebrity shot on the big board. Then we're going to answer Candyman's question. We're going to answer Candyman's question about a dynasty trade, and then I am going to do Tony Gonsolin. We'll do Tony Gonsolin K's last. We're going to throw the celebrity shot up on the board. Then we're going to do answer the fantasy trade question, and then we're going to do Tony Gonsolin. So celebrity shot for Drew, 73-82. So that's Drew, 73-82. So Drew's pick for the celebrity shot of the day. Have you made a pick before? I don't know if you have. If you have, we might have lost it. So we'll count this as Drew 73-82's first celebrity shot ever. So Sam Reinhart and Riley Smith over 4.5 shots combined. So that's Sam Reinhart and Riley Smith over 4.5 shots, and I'm just going to say combined, just to make sure that we know that. So interesting play. Love it from Drew 73-82. Love it. And Drew, this is your first. Welcome to the big board. Welcome to the big board. Okay. IP Shade 45 just weighed in on the trade. Candyman, here's my take on your pick. By the way, I'm going to zoom in on this so you guys can just see my picks while I'm answering this fantasy question, since it's not applicable to what we're talking about. Okay, Candyman. T. Higgins and J.K. Dobbins for Garrett Wilson. This is what I'm going to say. Garrett Wilson, we know, is going to be the number one receiver for the New York Jets. And the history of Aaron Rodgers and his number one receiver is off the charts. But for me, I'd rather have T. Higgins and J.K. Dobbins. One, running backs are so valuable. J.K. Dobbins is so valuable. Even if he's just your RB2, or even if he's a running back that you're putting in as a spot starter, depending on the matchup that week, running backs are so valuable. T. Higgins for Garrett Wilson, sure, Garrett Wilson's probably the better player. He's a wide receiver 1, where Higgins is a wide receiver 2, given that Jamar Chase is obviously the wide receiver 1 there in Cincinnati. But Higgins is going to put up good numbers. He's also in that contract dispute, contract pursuit territory, so you know he wants to ball out. He's going to be on the field. When it comes to availability, maybe not at practice, but he'll be on the field for games. He wants to get paid, and he wants to prove he's worth his next contract. But Higgins, that's a really good wide receiver. He already has a comfort level with Joe Burrow, and I get Dobbins. I wouldn't make the trade. I like Higgins and Dobbins. That's what I would do. Jorge, of course we can rate your fantasy team. We do that. If you guys haven't been with us during the football season, we do that all the time. We rate people's fantasy teams, trades. We love fantasy football here at Fumble Sports. IP Shade 45 is dead on this evaluation. IP Shade 45 is right, which is Dobbins makes the difference. Higgins and Garrett Wilson are almost a wash. Maybe Garrett Wilson does a little bit better with the numbers, but Dobbins, come on. And by the way, do I think that Lamar Jackson's going to run as much in the new Ravens offense? No, which means the running backs will run more. Plus, the wide receivers are better for the Ravens. Yes, that means they may throw the ball more. It also means the box isn't going to be as jammed with 8 defenders as it has been in the past. I think J.K. Dobbins could have a really good year. I really like T. Higgins. I think Garrett Wilson could be a star. Not saying he can't. But when we talk about fantasy points, the brand versus the production, Higgins and Dobbins are going to get the better production. They'll get the better return. And plus, 2 spots on your roster filled in. I really like it. IP Shade 45, Rodgers is short-term fix. With a Dynasty League, that's not a problem, though, IP Shade 45, because in a Dynasty League, you get 2 years out of production of Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers together. That's plenty of value. You can figure out what to do with Garrett Wilson later. You can trade him. You can do something else. But 2 years of Rodgers and Wilson together is good. But for me, I'd rather have Higgins and Dobbins. Again, in a Dynasty League or in an annual league, that's the play I would make. Jorge, I have Stevenson, JT, Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey. You have a loaded backfield, Jorge, and have DJ Moore and Smith. Would you trade for one more star wide receiver? It's interesting because you don't know what you're getting in DJ Moore. Who's the Smith you're referring to? Who's the Smith? Just let me know who the Smith is. I love your running backs, but I wouldn't trade any of those running backs to go chase a wide receiver. For me, I'd rather try and find someone in the draft. Look at Jackson Smith and Jigba. Look at Zay Flowers. Look at a wide receiver, a rookie wide receiver who will probably go kind of farther down in the draft, maybe overlooked, who could put up big numbers. Look at Brandon Cooks. With the Dallas Cowboys, a kind of veteran star who still maybe has some tread left on the tires, who could have a bigger year. So I like that one as well. Oh, Devontae Smith for wide receiver 2. I love your team. I would look to add wide receivers that are good value. I wouldn't go trading for a wide receiver 1. I think you'll end up giving away more than you really want to. IP Shade 45 doesn't trust DJ Moore with Justin Fields, hasn't proven his accuracy yet. I just love DJ Moore. Look at what DJ Moore has done with dog poop quarterbacks in Carolina. If he's doing that with dog poop Carolina quarterbacks, I think Justin Fields is an upgrade, even with poor accuracy at times. I also think Justin Fields is a better thrower of the football than people think. I think Justin Fields is very talented. So that said, I like what you got there, Jorge. Show me, I'm eating. Get that food. Okay, guys, we're coming up closer to the end of our show than I can believe. We've been flying through today's show. Here are all the picks up on the screen. Again, let's get some more of these out there. By the way, Nathan's asking, are there any Arizona hitters that we like? Let's dive into that really quick. But before we do, I promise that we dive into Tony Gonsolin on strikeouts. So Tony Gonsolin strikeouts is going to be our next bit of research. Keep hitting that like button, guys. I'm not done giving out long ball, long shots of the day. Hit that like button. I have about 2 more I'd love to give out. So if we can get to 10,000 likes and 12,000 likes, I'd love to drop those 2. Tony Gonsolin, strikeouts. Over 5.5. Good implied probability. Not a great track record, actually. Against the White Sox, some hitters have some good numbers. Little bit concerning here. How about if we look at it at home? At home, it's been a better trend. He missed last game. No, it hasn't. I can't take it. Head-to-head. It's tough. The over's the better play. I'm just not going to take it. I do like the over. I'm not going to put it up on my big board, but I do like the over. That's what I would say, Jorge. I do like the over, just not going to play it. Jorge, your bench is T. Higgins. Love it. DeAndre Hopkins could be a great player to have on your bench right now, by the way. Freiermuth is one of my favorite tight ends that no one talks about. Kirk, all right, Christian Kirk, I'm kind of hit or miss on him right now. OBJ, I don't know what I'm going to get. Claypool, and Bryce Young is your backup QB. Jorge, I think you have a really strong team. Really strong team. Mike Oxlong likes Todd Monken to lead the Ravens to a top seed. I think the Ravens are going to be a good team. I don't think they're going to be a top seed, in part because I do think that the Bengals are still the best team in that division. Jorge, rate my fantasy team. So, Trevor Lawrence, James Conner, Jamal Williams, Tyreek Hill, Adams, Goddard, Waddle, Steelers defense. Love the starting lineup. Love the starting lineup. Love what you have at wide receiver. Your running backs are weak. So, Jorge, you need to go address the running back position. That is definitely a area. Unless you have those 3 wide receivers, the running backs you had earlier, then yeah, you're loaded there. So, okay, Show Me. Show Me is putting his celebrity picks up on the big board. So let's get Show Me's picks. By the way, we're running out of shows, so if you guys want your picks put up on the big board, make sure you let me know what they are. So Show Me is taking Yankees money line, Reds money line. I'm not touching the Yankees today. Tough matchup against Scherzer. I could see them winning, but just not appealing to me. But I do like the Reds on the money line. Guys, let's get up to 10,000 likes. Once we do, we're going to give out another celebrity shot of the day. Show Me, I'm glad you didn't miss the show. But if you had, you can find us on YouTube every single day. So everybody, if you miss our show, you can always find it on YouTube after the fact. We post every show onto YouTube. So that way, if you missed any of my picks, any of our research, you can always find us. You never have to worry about it. Over half a single. Jorge threw up another celebrity shot of the day. You guys get 2. Make sure you make good use of them. So Nathan was asking, do we like any Arizona Diamondback hitters? The answer is yes, I do. It's Ketel Marte. Ketel Marte is the first one I like. Let's look at overall hits, runs, and RBIs. The over 1.5, I do like that. I will throw it up on my big board. That's Ketel Marte. Over 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs. That is a play that I like today. Good implied probability. Very consistent play. Against Zach Wheeler lifetime. 4 for 10 with a home run. No brainer for me. Show Me, but I'd be talking to myself. That's okay. We talk to ourselves here at Fumble Sports. How do you think I come up with all these picks? I talk to myself out loud going, is that going to be a good play? Well, the audience like that. Should I put that up on the big board? So don't worry, we do it all the time. We just threw up Ketel Marte up on our big board, though. Ketel Marte. Also, just want to look at what I would get if I were to take hits. Over half a hit. Bingo. So the fact I can get him on hits, runs, and RBIs and on over half a hit, that's definitely those are things I like. You can see we're kind of doubling down on some players today. Eli De La Cruz, Josh Bell, Jack Sawinski, Ketel Marte. If we really like them, that's okay. We're getting good odds on them. Drew, celebrity shot for Drew. Drew, we do not do fantasy for celebrity shot. It has to be a bet, a pick. We don't do celebrity shot for fantasy because fantasy, different sports books, how is it counted, just gets a little too tough. So no, we do not do that. That said, let's look at Corbin Carroll. So if we look at bases, no. If we look at hits, runs, and RBIs, yes, but not a great implied probability. Against Zach Wheeler lifetime, Corbin Carroll is 0 for 3. It's one of the reasons he wasn't someone I was looking at right away. If we look at hits, over half a hit, though, I would take. So I will take Corbin Carroll over half a hit. And are we feeling him on stolen bases today? Implied probability is 19%. I'm not. Oh, it came off. I'm not, so it's not one that I like. Not going to do it, but one more that I wanted to look for was Lourdes Gurriel, who's been red hot of late. So just looking at Arizona hitters. We'll get to your question, Top Dog, in 1 second. 1 second, Top Dog. Candyman, you have another celebrity shot, so we'll put that up there as well. Just waiting on our outlier while we're... Yeah. So, Lourdes Gurriel. Bases, 1.5. No. Hits, runs, and RBIs? No. Hits? Yes. I will take Lourdes Gurriel as well. Over half a hit. Over half a hit. And we're going to throw up some more celebrity shots of the day since you guys are putting them in the comment section. Candyman. Phoenix Mercury minus 3.5 in the first half. So Candyman is taking Mercury first half minus 3.5. First half minus 3.5 for the Phoenix Mercury. There you go. So Candyman's all loaded up. Freddie Freeman on bases. So total bases. Something going on. Getting some challenges here with our plays. So okay. Looks like the app is struggling for us. So it looks like the app has come out. So we're gonna have to coming to the end of the show anyway. So that's okay. We've done all our research for today. I am gonna give out a couple more picks though. I did like Alex Bregman over half a hit, in case you guys weren't aware. But I also like... I'm going to give out another long ball, long shot of the day. And that will be Alex Bregman. I do like Alex Bregman to hit a home run. I'll give out another long ball, long shot of the day because you guys have been so great. Nolan Gorman. And I'll give out one more. So I'm giving out all these. These are ones I was waiting on. But we're coming to the end of the show, and Outliers kind of being a B. So with that said, I'll just throw them up here on the big board. That is our research. That is our picks. So there you go. We dropped a couple on you guys. And do we have any more stolen bases we want to give out? Only one. I'll add it to the big board, and that's Jeremy Pena. So again, I'm going to slowly go through all of our picks that we've given out today so you guys can see it zoomed in up on your screen. So here we go. Here are all of our NHL Stanley Cup final picks for tonight. We like the Golden Knights, not just to win, but on the spread, on the puck line. We do like the over, it's 5.5, but we also like the under 6.5. So I think it's going to be a 4-2 game. I would put that as the score prediction. I'll put it on my, you kind of already know it, but score prediction would be a 4-2 score prediction in favor of the Golden Knights. I have Eichel getting half a point. I have Adin Hill getting over 26.5 saves. How about on MLB? If it has a bullet point next to it, it means it's a pick that we actually had prior to the show, all ready to go. So there you are, all of our picks up on the screen. I'm actually going to throw one more in here, believe it or not. One more in here. I'm going to put Braves, Tigers, no run in the first inning. So I actually just added that one. Make sure you guys caught that. No run in the first inning. All of our picks slowly going down. All of our MLB picks. You can see the others. These are the in-show research plays. We also have a couple of WNBA picks courtesy of Candyman, who's going to be helping us out with the WNBA, so thank you, Candyman. And as for our long ball, long shots of the day, players we think are going to get a home run, and players we think are going to get a steal, and our stealing is sharing. Again, these are half unit plays for me, not a full unit, a half unit. So if a full unit for you is usually $10, I bet $5 on these guys. So whatever a full unit is for you, I put a half unit down on it, just so you guys are aware. Finally, your celebrity shots of the day. There are your celebrity shots of the day up on the big board. I cannot say thank you enough. You guys are absolutely awesome. I so appreciate the support you guys show us. Everything is wonderful. Show me. I told Walmart stealing is sharing. Yeah, I'm sure they didn't feel the same way. With that said, it is so wonderful to be with you guys every single day. We are so grateful for the support you guys show us. So grateful. Thank you guys so much every single day. We are live for 2 hours, and it's all possible thanks to your support. So thank you guys. I hope you guys are following us. Make sure, again, go to our website, contact us, reach out. We absolutely love hearing from you guys. But go to our website, look at our content. You can find our DFS lineup there, buttfumblesports.com. We are going to be live tomorrow. We are live tomorrow, Wednesday, June 14th at 11 a.m. So again, for all of those who are paying attention, for all those loyal viewers, we are live tomorrow, Wednesday, June 14th at 11 a.m. Eastern. 11 a.m. Eastern for another 2-hour show where we'll go through all of our game picks, player prop bets. We'll talk about the NHL Stanley Cup Final, if it ends or not. But we are going to get into everything that we do, as always, tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern for Wednesday, June 14th. Big shout out to those loyal viewers of the show. IP Shade 45, Drew 7382, Bob the Gambler, Show Me, Jorge, Mike Oxlong, Candyman. Appreciate it. Boss Lady Murr, Stephen Pock, Doghouse Breaks, Alexander. Great to see you today, Alexander. LRK425. It was great to see you. Hopefully your bets cash tonight. And again, a big shout out to all of our viewers on YouTube: Top Dog, Nathan, Farika, Dante, RJ, Zodstein, Jeff, Haley, Mark. Big shout out to all of you. Love the support you guys show us, and I'm so grateful every single day that you show up, you're here, and you support Butt Fumble Sports. I cannot say thank you enough. As I say at the end of every show, I hope you stay healthy, I hope you stay safe, and I hope you have a wonderful afternoon and evening. I hope you cash a lot of tickets, and I cannot wait to see you again at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, Wednesday, June 14th.